Hello, my name is Moon, my pronouns are they, them, and today I'm going to be talking about my experiences growing up queer, but not knowing I was queer. And I've got a little performance today, so that'll be exciting, so I'm just getting ready. So yeah, I grew up when I was born in Liverpool, and then I grew up in quite a small town in Prestatyn in North Wales. And yeah, I think as with most small towns, there comes that like mentality of just narrow-mindedness and not being completely open to different experiences. And so through lack of education or like lack of awareness, I didn't know that I was queer. And you know, I am very blessed and privileged with my blood family. It's not perfect, but there is love there. But I think through their own lack of education or awareness, it wasn't like talked about. I think it was kind of assumed that I would you know, marry a man, have kids, go to uni, kind of ticking the boxes of what it means to live life in a heteronormative world. And it was only a few years ago in the lockdown I discovered I was queer. But yeah, growing up, so in school I was definitely like a theatre kid. I really enjoyed acting. I feel like I never really liked school, and I feel like acting and creativity and like art was a means for me to express myself. And yeah, it's funny because a lot of the time in the school plays I used to get quite masculine like roles, like strong roles, which is really funny looking back. Like I feel like it just makes sense. Here I am, a drag king. So yeah, I was quite close to my grandparents growing up, but one of my grandparents was a born-again Christian. And you know, whilst I think faith is and can be beautiful, and like, you know, I am someone who is like spiritual now, and I'll talk a bit more about what that means in another video. But yeah, she used to say like, you know, oh, yoga's the devil, and now I'm a yoga teacher. Ooh. And like Harry Potter's the devil, and I mean J.K. Rowling might be, but but yeah. So ooh, here we go, it's happening. So yeah, because we were quite close growing up, I used to pray each night, and I'd be like, please, I don't want to go to hell. Call me when you want, call me when you need, call me in the morning, I'll be on my way. And yeah, I used to, like, there were a few gay people in my school, but it just wasn't really like talked about that much. Like, it wasn't really, you know, the norm. And I did get picked on in school as well, which, you know, most weirdos, most different people do anyway. But yeah, I feel like I spent a lot of my life not fully knowing who I am, and I know it's a journey because we lose that and then we learn it again. But yeah, it was in the lockdown, and my younger sister, Edie, love ya, she persuaded me to download TikTok. and I was like, nah, I'm not downloading this social media thing. But then I downloaded it, and obviously it sends you videos on your algorithm based off your likes and like hashtags. So it showed me a few LGBT ones, and I was kind of curious, and I was like, just liking them, and kept showing me more and more and more. And at first I was just like, wow, yeah. And then I realized, I was like, oh my god, like this is me. I was like, shit. And then I had a dream one night. I had a dream that I was in this really sacred space, and I'd shaved my hair because I'd used to have really long hair. And in the dream I'd changed my name to Moon, and I woke up and I felt really emotional, and yeah, and then I kind of like was really like, I think at that point I thought, oh, I think I'm non-binary, because in this dream I wasn't any gender, I was just being. And then I told my sister, and I was crying. I was like, Edie, I want to change my name to Moon, I think I'm non-binary. And Edie, because of, you know, younger generations, which is incredible, like this is how we changed the world, you know, and they have all this access to knowledge through social media. Edie was just like, it's fine, like I don't get it, I don't get why you're crying. Like, she was like, yeah, you do you, like you be happy to be yourself. And I was like, but I didn't tell my mum straight away. I think Edie told my mum for me. But and then another point in the lockdown, I tried drag for the first time. So we're called I Am Mango on the Moon. Go follow on the Insta. And yeah, I remember just feeling really powerful and like gender affirmed. And I was, you know, walking around Prestatyn, going to the corner shop, getting all these looks off people and just loving it. And oh, I just got a bit of paint in my contact lens, lol. And yeah, I think, oh, just see. So yeah, those were a few like milestone moments, TikTok, getting into drag. And yeah, it was on April the 11th, which is quite a meaningful day for me as well, because it's the day that I started my bleed when I was younger, and I've always felt this super intense connection with the moon. I live around the moon cycles with like astrology, and the moon, I love its like magnetism, and it's cyclicality, and I love it, what it represents, how, you know, we're always going through phases. We're always changing, and especially as queer people, we're changeable beings. We go through many deaths and rebirths. It did take me a while to legally get it changed, because, you know, impossible tasks, if you know, you know. But here we are. So yeah. And yeah, I think when my mum found out, she didn't understand to begin with. I think it was conditioning, and like she did put it forward to my grandparents as like bad news. I think she did distance herself from me from a bit, which hurt, just because she didn't understand. And I think at the time I was really angry and had a lot of hurt, but as I've grown on my journey, and I've, you know, opened my heart, and like with a practice of compassion and forgiveness, I think I just realized, like, I think it's important to have compassion for older generations who don't always understand and don't have the education or the awareness or people in their life, because sometimes it just takes time to get your head round. And like, you know, it took me time to get my head round as well, so here we are. And yeah, and I think what has been really beautiful about this journey is the more that I have like chosen to live in my truth and be myself, the more I've attracted people who resonate with that truth and who, you know, essentially chosen family. Like, I found chosen family, and I think that's really beautiful, and I'm so grateful for that, because you know, I'm blessed to have blood family as well. Like, sadly my grandma doesn't want to know me anymore, but and another grandma doesn't refuse to use my chosen name, but there is still love there. And I think with chosen family, I feel grateful because, you know, when queer people come together, we combine superhero powers, and we, you know, help one another grow. Like the concept of queer ecology, which I'll talk about a bit more in another video. But yeah, it's the concept that we all work as an ecology to support one another and work together. Ooh, got an eyebrow. And yeah, I feel really grateful as well, because I think I'm the first one in my family to fully come out into my queerness and to express it openly and unapologetically. I'm still obviously working through some shame and stuff like that, and it takes time. It's probably a lifetime. And I haven't, you know, fully figured it out, because I don't think we ever do. I think we're always evolving and changing and rediscovering. But yeah, I'm really grateful that I've had the means and the education and the privilege and the community to learn and to grow. And I guess I'm sharing my story because it might bring people hope to know that it can be possible. It's not always easy, but it can be possible, and that our stories matter, especially because politically, you know, archives, like, our stories haven't always been told, or haven't always been in the mainstream, or if they have, it's not always been in the most in the best light. And we still have a lot to fight for around the world. Like, our rights aren't fully, you know, accepted. It's slowly getting easier, but there's still a lot that needs to change. There's a lot that needs to happen to get to a point where, well, LGBT people can just be ourselves, without having to fear for our life and our safety. And so I just want to take a moment to celebrate my life and how far I've come, and I want to celebrate, get emotional, I've just done my makeup. But yeah, I want to celebrate every queer person that has, you know, made it through their life, and it has made it to live another beautiful day, and just know that our existence is enough. Okay, if you're still with me, thank you for watching this video. I'll pop back on with the finished look at the end. So I kind of got carried away chatting a bit, but yeah, I'd invite us all to take just a deep breath and come back to the body. Yeah, all the love. Ooh. Okay, so here's the finished makeup look. I'm going to be performing Bird Girl by Anoni and the Johnsons. Just been a really meaningful song for me throughout my transitioning journey to being non-binary. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. Maybe I should draw some feathers. I'm a stripy king. Got my shorts on. Yeah. Woo. Ooh, 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 ooh. Exciting times, lads. Exciting times.